Hello, hello, hello. Satsang at Astrology once more. In this video, I will speak about the upcoming lunar eclipse in Taurus, 28th of October, 2023 at 5 degrees, 8 minutes of Taurus. So this is the chart, but first of all, I would like to point out that it happens during the day, at least in the Western Hemisphere in the United States. So this is approximately how it could be seen in some places. So I really don't know, but the images during the night are very impressive. But of course, none of these are pictures of the actual eclipse, right? They are historical. So you can find me in social media, but you can also contact me for personal readings. I am a modern tropical astrologer. I use whole sign houses, and I do all kinds of readings, personal, birth chart, progressed, solar arc. I use several techniques of different schools, whatever fits the question the client has. So depending on what the client needs to know, I will go and search in my toolbox and I will use those techniques. So you can count on a very profound and detailed analysis of your chart and a very detailed answer to your question. So I also do synastries, and I can help parents guide their children in their education, or when they want to go to college. Now higher education is very expensive, so it's good to aim more precisely at what will be suitable for your child. So an astrological consultation is very useful in those cases. So you can contact me with questions, send me an email. And in my blog, satsangat.astrology.blogspot.com, you can find a description of all the services that I offer. So now I will go back and share the chart for the lunar eclipse and show you in different ways what it means. So here we have the sun at 5 degrees 9 minutes of Scorpio, and the moon 5 degrees 9 minutes of Taurus. So first of all, wherever you have Taurus, Scorpio, the houses that they occupy will be activated, no matter if you have planets or not. Of course, more specific impact will be if you have planets located nearby. But the houses will be activated no matter what you have or not have. The intensity and the way that your life will be impacted will be according to your natal chart. That's why it's very advisable to consult an astrology you trust and have a specific analysis of these transits over your natal house, your natal chart, sorry. So, but basically in the natural zodiac, Taurus and Scorpio is the axis of resources, of energy, right? Aries is the baby is born. Second house Taurus is the food that the baby needs to sustain his or herself. So in the Taurus sign, the Taurus represents all the energy that we need in order, you need to absorb, attract, ruled by Venus. We are attracting and we are desiring those resources in order to survive. Resources, energy, food, anything that is to sustain the life that in Scorpio, we are in a more in another level of resources, which is a little bit more complicated because we need to trust someone else in order to share the resources and make more out of life, right? In Taurus, we have the stability of our own resources, our own amount of energy. But with Scorpio, we are looking to join forces with someone else in order to make something else, in order to reach more, something, to do something more. For example, if you would like to have a business, right, you go to the bank and you get a loan. Or if you like, if you already have a lot of money, you can go to the bank and invest your money and get your return, your interest on the investment. So those are things that are associated with the sign of Scorpio, or money from other people, like inheritances. Or the resources of your partner, right? 7th house, 8th house. So 8th house is the second from the 7th, so that will be the resources of your partner. So those are joint forces with someone else or something else in order to increase the potential to do something with the resources. So that's why it rules, the Axis rules finances. Banks are usually represented by Taurus, financial investments and other kinds of financial institutions are represented by Scorpio. So here we have an eclipse that deals with this kind of issues, resources, energy, but we will see that according to the planets, this is a fight for resources, and we will see why. So first of all, the sun, father, is in Scorpio. The moon, the mother, is in Taurus. So we have this opposition between the authority and the people. The authority in Scorpio. In general, we'll see authority figures that are doing things behind the scenes. Scorpio is a strategist. So, and with Mars in the sign, we have a strong sun, because Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. So we have a very strong sun part of the eclipse. So the light of the sun will be projected onto the moon, and it will be a strong projection, because it will have this flavor of assertiveness on one side, but it could be also this flavor of conflict, aggression, war even, and aggression mainly. Mercury is also part of the picture, which makes it an aggressive thinking, aggressive thought, agitated communications, aggressive expressions. It will be opinions. I want to impose my opinions very strongly, right? The authority, the sun, or whoever represents, whoever is associated with this sun symbolism, will be someone very important, right? The sun, the center of attention, who is really digging really deep on their own opinions, whoever it is. It could be a woman. It doesn't need to be a man. Usually the sun is associated with masculine projective energy, but it could be a woman with a very strong projective energy. It doesn't matter. An authority of any kind. We saw the Queen Elizabeth, for example. She was the queen, and she was this sun symbolism for the kingdom, right? So as I said, an authority figure that is projecting very strong political, military ideas, forces, even war forces, is projecting this energy on this moon, which represents the public, the people in general. So we have a very strong solar part of the eclipse. So this sun is illuminating the Earth mainly, whose shadow is covering the moon, because an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, happens when the Earth is in the middle between the sun and the moon. So the shadow of the Earth is covering the moon. It's a partial lunar eclipse, meaning that just part of the Earth is covering the moon. Now the nodal axis is still in the axis of Aries and Libra. So we still have this flavor of relationship conflicts here. And of course, an opposition between the moon and the sun and any other planet, an opposition by itself is always related to relationships and how to, we need to find balance between both, right? So Aries and Libra, nodal axis speaks about, we have a conflict here. If we are going to get out there and do and be aggressive, and the North Node is with Aries, so very rebellious and even revenge energy. It's an energy of how can I say this? Well, I explained in the previous video about the solar eclipse that Eris is the planet that represents that one who has been left behind from the banquet of the gods, because whatever, I'm not sure about the minute details of the myth, but she was not invited to the banquet. So she's resentful. She she's looking for vengeance. So this is the North Node associated with this energy of vengeance, of revenge, right? And the South Node is talking about, well, if we are going to balance these two energies, Aries and Libra, we need to find a compromise. We need to find, we need to let go of something that we really treasure in order to find peace and justice, South Node in Libra. But as the North Node is approaching Chiron as well, we will see very painful developments. because of this aggression and this looking for revenge and conflict, right? And in vengeance. So these are some of the energies at play during this eclipse. Now, if we associated this Mercury and Mars in opposition with Jupiter on the other side, we have this aggression being over optimistic. It could be that this aggression is based on misleading beliefs and even religious beliefs about resources, right? No, this land is mine because my God promised that I should have this land, and my God doesn't love you, so I'm going to kill you because you are in my land, and my God doesn't want you in my land. So I'm going to expulse you from my land because God has given this land to me. So this is the kind of energy that promotes this kind of unrealistic and illogical ideas that are based on religious beliefs. Jupiter in Jupiter in Taurus is talking about ideals, ideologies regarding resources related to religion and in law sometimes. So this is a dispute of resources, and especially land, because Taurus also is associated with land, with nature, with possession that provide resources. So this could, as well, we have Mercury there, very aggressive Mercury, together with Mars in the sign of Scorpio, right? Aggressive, but at the same time strategic, right? Because Mars in Scorpio is not openly aggressive like Aries, like a Mars in Aries. No, Mars is thinking, is able to wait, is able to even attack from behind, and do very strategic movements in order to attack precisely, very accurately. So there could be they could give room or place to fanatical conflicts due to these delusional beliefs, right? As I said, who might think that a God would love you more than me or more than my neighbor. I mean, if there is such a God, I guess, and created human beings, he would probably love everyone the same, because if he created all human beings, if it is a he or she, who knows, probably love everybody the same. I don't know. I mean, I'm non-religious, so I look objectively to these kinds of things. In my way of reasoning, to me, it doesn't sound very logic that there's a God that loves someone and hates others. So doesn't make any sense. But I respect other people's beliefs, of course. However, if they are causing wars and conflicts, I have an issue there. So if you want my opinion, of course, if you don't share my opinion, then you can go on to other astrologers who may be more compatible with your ideas. But I am not against any religion or anything. I'm just reasoning here. As I said, people, regardless of the issue of religion, people go to war because of need for resources and need for a land where to live in peace and eat every day. So people go to war when the resources are scarce. And nowadays, there are many reasons why these wars are coming up, because so many people are suffering hunger and so many people are left behind, Aries, and many people are suffering because Chiron in Aries, representing the vulnerability of life, of existence. So even animals, even nature is suffering in this risking the very existence, right? Bees and any animal in the earth is suffering because of these natural problems, natural catastrophes. So life on Earth is vulnerable at this point, and if human beings continue hating each other just because they are not able to share the resources there are, so then we'll end up destroying everything. And so war is not the solution nor the answer. So an intent is more needed to have conversations. How can we share the resources peacefully? How can we be less selfish? How can we produce what people need? How can we open let's see, the political system in order to have this worked out? So how can we change laws or agreements between countries? The South Node in Libra wants us to become more open to find justice, to find balance, to have peace. So between the energy of Aries and Libra, we need to find the midpoint, and the same for Taurus and Scorpio. We need to find the midpoint in order to balance. So here, this eclipse is squaring Hygeia in Aquarius. Hygeia and Aquarius may talk about, especially Mars and Jupiter are the ones more close to the square to Hygeia. So Hygeia is representing preventive health, right? The science, Aquarius, of health prevention. And what is health prevention? Is the hygiene that we need in order to survive, right? And it may talk about our nervous system hygiene, right? Because here we have Uranus and Taurus as well. It's agitating our nervous system, and we need to find a way to deal with this nervous system that is altered, in order to think more clearly. So hygiene Aquarius may even represent the mental hygiene that we need in our higher mind in order to think clearly, right? This is a chart that has, let me share with you another image, because I have here more information on this chart. On this chart, I have the dominant element here is fire. We have, of course, the natural zodiac. We have the ascendants in fire, air, fire. We have, let's see, air, fire, air, earth, and water, and we have cardinal, fixed, and mutable. We have fixed, the majority is fixed water and fixed earth, so we have more fixed water than anything. And what is it is all this Scorpio thing, all these planets in Scorpio. So fixed water means that we are planted in our opinions, we are intransigent in our emotions about what we think, Mercury and Mars. It is a strong way of thinking because it's accompanied by strong emotions that are at the point of very, very hot due to this Mars presence there. And if you see, we have also Venus approaching the opposition to Neptune and forming again once more this kite in the sky. And when Venus arrives to the exact opposition to Neptune, we will have another crisis. We have now Pluto, ruler of Scorpio, now direct but barely moving in the decan of Mercury, decan of Virgo, and the Egyptian term of Mars. So here we have a very, very strong Pluto, right? Very aggressive, verbally aggressive, and also in areas of health, because it's in the decan of Virgo since 2020, right? Pluto is digging heels in the area of health. So it doesn't mean illness that you can see, but I think in general, the mental health of humanity is at risk. There is too much drug addiction everywhere you go. There is a lot of mental the media, right? The media is also affecting the mental health, especially youth. You see youth that commit suicide, for example, because of the media impact on them. So it's very traumatic. The media and the information, it's sickening us mentally. So when Venus gets to Venus, we will have again another episode of tragic events. And that will be few days, more so because Venus will be in the Egyptian term of Mars. So it's going to be something very, very aggressive. Neptune is in the decan of Pluto and in the Egyptian term of Mars. So this Neptune is not spiritual and ethereal. No, this Neptune is violent. This Neptune is the Neptune of overdose in addiction, is this Neptune of floods that kill people and destroy. So when Venus arrives there, I think there will be a very profound crisis in relationships, in finances, resources, and it could be really spread all over the world due to this Neptune. That Neptune expands, right, overboard, even more than Jupiter. So the kites are not friendly configurations. I have explained this in previous videos. So problems will be very passionate arguments. In your personal life, you may get very easily irritated through your beliefs and your belief system. You may be using sarcastic speech, and this may also be aggression, subdued aggression, you know, from behind and that kind of thing. And your beliefs could be taken to an extreme that will make you become aggressive towards others. So but remember, those beliefs are just related to resources and the fight over resources. So regarding wars, there could be secret negotiations behind the scenes in order to increase the war, and secret war strategies and plans. So there will definitely be dangerous to travel abroad or long distance because of this opposition, Mars and Jupiter. So travel by long distance travel I would not recommend it. At least until this energy subsides. It will be the most intense energy would be close to the 28th of October, a few days before and after, but the effect of eclipses lasts 6 months, a year, and even more sometimes. So I will also like to share the chart of Israel, because, and I have it here, because of the war. Let's see. Okay, so let's put it big. So here we have the chart for Israel. And let me tell you the date and time, 14th of May, 1948, in Tel Aviv at 4:37 p.m. or 16:37. This was the time when Ben-Gurion stood up in front of the masses in Tel Aviv and declared the independence. So this was a time that was recorded, and so I took this because the other chart, the other time is 16 or 4 p.m. exact, which seems to me an approximation. So This puts the ascendant in Scorpio in the decade of Pluto and the term of Mars again. So it's a warrior country that was born from a war. So it fits well, right? So midheaven, we have Jupiter and the Sun. So Jupiter at the midheaven speaks about this term of Jupiter in the midheaven speaks about the religious country. And of course, it was near a conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. And we have right now, let me see, we have right now Pluto crossing from the third house into the fourth, and is at the last decan, as I said, is transiting there. And by 2026, it will oppose. So it will oppose the midheaven. But let me review the eclipses that have been happening since 2022. In May 15, 2022, there was an eclipse at 25 of Scorpio, right conjunct Chiron here. So from 2022, we see that the country is already suffering turmoil, right? So November 8, 2022, the eclipse is at 1559 Taurus, where the North Node is. So here it's challenging the direction of the country, but also the alliances or the enemies, right? The seventh house is everything that is opposing you or opposing the ascendant. So it could be your alliances, but it could also be those who oppose you. So that was in November. And you can look back about those attacks back and forth between Palestine and Israel. And May 5th, 2023, again, the eclipse falls at 1452, almost exactly on the south node of the ascendant. So again, it has been activated. The chart has been activated by the eclipses because of the axis of the ascendant and descendant. October 2nd, 2024, the eclipse will be at 10 degrees of Libra here on Neptune. This doesn't talk to me about success, right? Because Neptune, 12th house, it could be secret enemies. So I don't know what's going to happen, but that will be in a year. And March 29, 2026, then the next eclipse will be at 8 degrees 53 of Aries. It will conjunct Eris here, the natal Eris. So those eclipses will activate the chart, as I said. The Pluto transit at 356 of Aquarius in a couple of years. It will be in 2026, as I said. First time it will be closed in May 2025, and it will be exact February 8th, 2026, and March 8th, 2026. On March 8, 2026, Pluto will, let's see, will oppose the moon at 4 degrees. for 43. So this opposition between Pluto and the moon is a huge challenge for the people in the country. So we can expect much suffering and deaths. Pluto, 4th house, is death. And Pluto in the 4th house also talks about transformation of the land. The 4th house is the land where we stand. So it will be changes. There will be changes in the land they occupy, and that will affect the people, the moon, right? And their stand in the world, their image in the world, how they show up in the world. So this Pluto transiting Aquarius is not bringing any success for Israel. And considering that the United States wants to support Israel 100%, so I think this new war, because it's already a war, the prime minister declared that they were at war, is luring the United States, right? Because the United States wants to be involved and has been involved so far. And there are powerful alliances that are not public, of course, but we know that the countries in the Arab world are supporting Palestine, and Iran also supports this band of Gaza. So let me also show you the chart for the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Make it bigger. So his chart is also lighting up with all these eclipses, and look at the house of Libra. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bodies, 7 celestial bodies in Libra. And we will have still several eclipses left in the axis of Aries and Libra. So we have the October 14, just in about a week, at 21 degrees of Libra, is conjuncting his moon. So, and if you remember, just a few months ago, he had surgery of the heart or something. And it was the time when Pluto, Pluto has been transiting Jupiter here, let's see what else. And Pluto was squaring and is now squaring his sun. So his authority has been transforming, and as you know, he's high level of corruption, and to a point where he wants to change the system so the system fits his needs for avoiding, the legal consequences. So he's not very popular in his own country, and Pluto here squaring his sun, obviously, you see it coincides with this war. So that's one thing. Astrology is so literal. And then the eclipse will be a south node eclipse, which the south node has been through his sun, taking his authority away, right? Subsiding his authority, south node. Now it will be conjoining Ceres. Ceres has been considered planet, yeah, an asteroid, but planet, dwarf planet, associated with nurturance. However, we have seen it in conjunction with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in the Sun and Mercury in January 2020. So I'm not sure if it is only Ceres only represents nurturance. I think it's it has other things that I have not pinpoint yet. So we'll see. Pretty soon, I think in probably a month or so or less, a couple of weeks, the South Node will join Ceres, and in fact the eclipse will be midway or in the midpoint between the moon and Ceres. And then next eclipse for next year in April, it will be at 19 degrees, and it will be closer to the nodes. I mean, the nodes when some planet or something makes a conjunction with the nodes, I assign a wide orb, because really the nodes have this power that I have proven in the reading of several charts and transits for charts, that we can give the nodes a wider orb of influence. So this April 8th, 2024, it's a solar eclipse at 19 degrees. It is conjoining the North Node. So we'll see what happens. Next eclipse in Taurus doesn't touch anything. So I don't know if that will be an influence, but we will probably see the consequences of the solar eclipse in Libra. So and many other transits that will happen. I don't see a success for him, even though he might want to be successful. It's unfortunately things don't work that way. Especially when people let's see. When people have the power to vote, and when people are in the streets protesting the governments, right? So nowadays, on the one hand, people are so discontent with all this corruption that is so public and open. You know, people are disgusted, and people are in the streets protesting and looking for ways to survive. Chiron in Aries, the very existence of human beings is at risk. So people are demanding the rights to have a decent life, and especially this disillusion with governance, right? And governments, on the other hand, instead of compromising, what I see around the world is that they are trying to get more power, more control, more force. I'm not sure if that will work. We'll see. But this is what I have to say about this eclipse. I hope it helps you reflect on this reactionary thinking and aggressive thinking. It will not be conducting to success or to solve any problems. So try to focus on, let's say, this this Virgo, right? Virgo, this Venus in Virgo, trying to discern, trying to find ways to solve these resource problems. Venus is ruling the moon in the chart, so this Venus has something to say about this moon, although of course it's almost in opposition with Neptune, so it could be a difficult way to solve problems, you know. However, we see that there is a quintile to Hygeia and a quintile to Eris. So a quintile to Chiron, most probably. And later on, it could be a quintile to a biquintile to. And then there is a quintile from Hygeia to the nose. So quintiles are 71.5, 72-degree angles, and 144 for a biquintal. And it's an aspect of creativity, of let's say creative action. And in this case, since Venus is involved, creative desires. So we're desiring to create something new. So this aspect may help. So, however, having Venus in almost opposition to Neptune, it can prove confusing. Our desires and relationships and the way we see the small details in our finances and relationships may be difficult to resolve. So I leave you with that, and if you like, you can send me a comment or something. I appreciate your visiting, and I hope you subscribe if you like my videos, and I'll see you next time, and good luck.